I'm just finishing up an incredible day at the Billionaire Code Summit. I'm actually in the hallway of the event that we just did with Brad Cobb, and he's about to share with you why the systems that we use make you a better leader, but in a way that you probably wouldn't expect. I'm Alex Sharfin, and this is the Momentum Podcast, made for empire builders, game changers, trailblazers, shot takers, record breakers, world makers, and creators of all kinds. Those among us who can't turn it off and don't know why anyone would want to. We challenge complacency, destroy apathy, and we are obsessed with creating momentum so we can roll over bureaucracy and make our greatest contribution. Sure, we pay attention to their rules, but only so that we can bend them, break them, then rewrite them around our own will. We don't accept our destiny, we define it. We don't understand defeat because you only lose if you stop, and we don't know how. While the rest of the world strives for average and clings desperately to the status quo, we are the minority, the few, who are willing to hallucinate there could be a better future, and instead of just daydreaming of what could be, we endure the vulnerability and exposure it takes to make it real. We are the evolutionary hunters, clearly the most important people in the world, because entrepreneurs are the only source of consistent, positive human evolution, and we always will be. Brad, it is so amazing to have you here and to have you at the event. How long have we been working together?
Since January, and it's now, September, so 9 months.
9 months. So 9 months ago, where would you say that your business was?
The reason we came on is because we were part of another mastermind group together, and we were posting that we were almost done. Like, we were ready to shut it down, that it wasn't going to work. And my business partner and I were talking about splitting the business up and moving on.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, and remember like begging you both, like, just come and let's first decide, like first see what we're doing and then decide.
And I didn't believe you. And you started an interesting spot though. You started with me and you said, Brad, I can see like physically there's things going on. Like, we've got to get you, just like you've always said, you got to get you hydrated. We've got to get you in a daily routine. We've got to get you out of fight or flight so that we can even begin the conversation. And that's what hooked me originally. Be like, okay, no one's ever taken that approach on my business before. But then, I mean, we saw enough of the process, we trusted it, and we dove in. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, no question. Well, and I think the personal part's important too, because it wasn't just for you with the personal stuff, it was for Ryan as well.
Oh yeah.
You were experiencing all kinds of physiological symptoms. Ryan had his neck locked up, back locked up. Like, both of you were physically feeling the burden of the business.
That's why we were wanting to give up, was it was physically crushing us.
And it wasn't because you were working in crazy hours or lifting heavy boxes or any of that. It was the stress of the business and the ambiguity of where you were going that was creating all that physiological stuff.
Oh yeah, we were in constraint. We were stopped. We were stuck, and there wasn't. And then we're the type of people, we can't live that way, and we didn't have an out.
Right. And so in the past 9 months, I just want to give everybody contrast, because you've applied our content for 9 months. And, you said several times today in the class, like, we haven't done it perfectly.
No.
And I don't think anybody can do it perfectly. But you've done it as well as you can in the last 9 months. So you went from getting out of business to where are you guys now?
So we just hit a $5 million run rate in our business.
Where were you 9 months ago?
We sort of fudged numbers to get in at the 1 million mark. So we were at a run rate of $1 million, but we hadn't booked $1 million yet. So we walked in at a 1 million run rate, and last month we hit $5
million run rate. So you've experienced 500% growth in the last 9 months. And physiologically, where are you and Ryan now?
Much better than we were before. Like, it's still hard. It's still, I box you all the time. I'm like, thanks for Alex, you broke my business again. Like, I keep waiting for it to not be broken, but so it's breaking over and over, but it's sustainable. It's something that we feel like we can keep up with and work within.
So what we teach is, in addition to the physiology and taking care of yourself and really specific habits that make a lot of the pain go away, we also teach a forward-looking strategy, a communication structure, and then a system to build the infrastructure around you. And what you just said earlier, the reason I wanted to do this podcast is, you mentioned earlier, when you have a forward-looking structure where you're showing people where you're going, suddenly what you ask them to do makes sense.
Well, the struggle and difficulty in building a team is everybody wishes they had a team of entrepreneurs, but nobody actually really wants a team of entrepreneurs. That'd be a total disaster. Like, I have little kids, so I watched the Lego Batman movie. I don't know if anyone listening has ever watched that, but like when they try to build the submarine, it's like all the 15 different kinds. Like, that's what you would have if you had a team of entrepreneurs, but that's what we tell us of what we want. But what's really missing is we've got to figure out a way to communicate who we are and what we're trying to accomplish in a way that our team can follow and do. And we got talking about the pushbacks that us as entrepreneurs have as we go through your system. It's because we're looking at each piece individually. And it isn't until we see the forward planning and any one of them implemented by themselves would end up being a total disaster, because it would be out of context. It would be the crazy entrepreneur that our teams are used to seeing that would be dismissed, or we'd be misunderstood, or we would be so off base because we wouldn't have the information or be telling our team the right thing. But when, like, I stepped back for part of the meeting today, is you were getting the usual pushback and helping people through understanding it. I was like, wait a minute, sharing numbers, that was the one I was thinking of. Sharing numbers, no entrepreneur would do that except the entrepreneur that has a solid client-centric mission, that has hired true believers who care about that person. Then it is, the money is something to celebrate. It's not something to get all worried about. But when it's a dog-eat-dog company, then of course you can't share numbers. But the fact that we start all the way at the client-centric mission, we hire true believers, we regularly communicate.
We're actually in the hallway of an event
with and when it all links together and you do it in that's when the magic can start to happen. And the other joke Ryan and I have, we always wish we just had X-Men powers where we could pause time and go get everything done that we want to. This is the next best thing, because we're starting to be able to, like you said, predict the future by forward pacing it. And now we're doing it. It feels like we're pausing time because we're doing it ahead of time.
You know, I want to go back to what you said. It was so eloquent. In fact, I don't know that I've ever said it as well as you did. What you said just a little bit ago was, I don't know if everyone understands the significance of starting with a client-centric mission. And there's a podcast on client-centric mission. So if you're listening, you can go listen to exactly what that is and how to build it. But when you start with a client-centric mission and you hire true believers, what you said is you can totally share your numbers. You can share profitability because it's just a scoreboard for what you all want to achieve.
Everybody, whether entrepreneurs or not, everybody wants to win in life. Everybody wants to be part of something that's bigger than them. And when you give them a client-centric mission and you hire people that are naturally attracted to that, it's game over. You can do all of the things that no other, like the other companies have to like motivate you through, happy hours and ping pong tables and all this stuff because no one cares. But when people care, they will go above and beyond. They'll work harder. They'll implement these systems that seem counterintuitive. But it's not until you connect all, and it's not a marketing gimmick. Like, there's lots of people that will teach client-centric missions so that you can differentiate your marketing stuff. But if you'll get one that you really truly believe in, and then hire other people around you that believe in that, your team will become that piece of support instead of the drag. Because, like, I realized that I was letting my avatar down if I wasn't using my team. Like, it was the only way to continue to make that impact was to be there for my team. And that was a massive, huge shift for us, because I thought I had to be there for my client. My team was getting in the way. It's like, no, I need to go serve this person. And if I'm spending time with my team, then I'm not spending time with my person. But now it's switched around the other way, that I can't serve my team until I can't serve my people until I have my team in place.
That's so awesome. And your team is on the same mission you are, so you're accountable to them as much as they're accountable to you.
100%.
So I always tell entrepreneurs, if you can get to 1 million, you can get to 3. And if you get to 3, you will see 10. 9 months ago, you couldn't see 2 million. Do you see 10 now?
I couldn't see holding on to the 1 million that we had barely scratched with our fingernails out. And now we're hitting 5, and 10 is already mapped out in a waterfall. We have it step by step ready to go. We just have to let time do its thing and run it. So we're already at 10 planned out, and we're starting to see what 20 looks like.
Yeah. And can you now fathom that this could be a 9-figure opportunity?
Oh, man. Wow. Not until just you're challenging me on that. Yeah. I mean, but I can, like, I don't have I want to, now I want to go see how I could build a process to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because you just confronted me with well, wait a minute, if it is 20, why isn't it 100? I mean,
Well,
there's
if you
no
can see
reason
10,
other
you
than
can
mine.
see 100.
Yeah. And I mentioned this in the group too, and I want everybody to listen to this too. Like, had I been told when I started a business that growth was about my growth first and foremost, like, I don't know if I'd have believed them. I wouldn't have understood that. But now I start asking myself the question, okay, so who do I have to become to do a $100 million company? It's just, right, I have to be a CEO that's capable of that, and then I have to build a team that's capable of supporting me as a CEO to do that, and then run a process to be able to do it. So there's no reason it can't be.
Yeah. I look at you and I look at Ryan and I look at the industry you're in and how you're changing things, and I want you to know I see a 9-figure business there and more. And the way the two of you talk about completely transforming your industry, it's going to happen. So if anybody who's listening, I'm sure they now want to understand who you are, find out about you and Ryan, tell them where they can.
So we run 2 different businesses. One is called Atlas Wealth Solutions. We focus on financial it makes me sick to even say financial, because it's not what you think it is. We're totally changing it, but it's money for entrepreneurs. It's strategy that entrepreneurs need to follow with their money. And then we run a side called Cash Flow Tactics that's more focused at the purpose-driven employee who needs a strategy to be able to create cash flow to get out of what they're doing. So those are the two avatars we focus on. So Atlas Wealth Solutions, and Cash Flow Tactics.
So if there's an entrepreneur listening, because that's what we have mostly on this podcast, what URL should they go to find out about more about you guys?
We're still working on it, but it'll be atlaswealthsolutions.com.
Perfect. Atlaswealthsolutions.com. Check it out. And it has been a privilege to watch you guys for the last 9 months. You know, I knew coming into this program you weren't going to quit. That was my belief. And I knew you guys weren't giving up. I did not have any clue how quickly, one, you would turn it around, and then how explosive your growth would be. You created a tiger by the tail. I'm super proud of you guys.
Oh, we appreciate it, Alex. We love you. We love the group. It wouldn't be possible without the support here.
Thank you, brother. And for any of you who want to have that type of support, who want to understand how to grow your business, who want to get a little information about where you are right now, go to billionairecode.com, fill out the quick survey. We'll give you a summary of where you are on the Billionaire Code, and you'll also find out about future events and how we help entrepreneurs do exactly what Brad's been talking about. And what Brad and Ryan are doing is changing the world. Go check them out, atlaswealthsolutions.com.